I didn't want to pull a beige and actually ruin a microphone.
Yes, thank you for not doing that.
You legit don't have a pre-order.
No,
though,
I
right?
don't. That's literally my plan. It worked for Final Fantasy 15 pretty well.
Yep.
And honestly, Persona 5 is just as niche, if not more, than Final Fantasy 15.
I would say definitely more niche.
So, I kind of want the Steelbook edition, though. So I'm torn. Do I want to get a pre-order now? But I really just do want to be able to rock up to Best Buy, like, first thing in the morning and buying it.
Mm-hmm. Why would you bother finding all those things? I don't know. I'm astonished to find out there's 900 of them.
Well, apparently that's like 440 more than you actually need to, like, upgrade all your slots.
No kidding. They're everywhere.
Apparently they put that many in the game, though, because they want...
So they'd be easy to find.
Yeah, so it's conceivable that you find them just sort of farting around because it's such a huge game.
Well, it's good, too, because it's like, you know, say they make, like, some sort of rock spire, right? That has there's nothing going on with it. But they can put a Korok on the top of it, so that if you're like, I'm gonna climb that spire, you get to the top and you're like, oh hey, there's a Korok up here, neat, right? It's just like a little largely inconsequential thing that they can put in places if you're like, I wonder what happens if I go there.
It makes the game feel rich and alive instead of just stuffed with things to take up your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the was it ability orb stuff, sort of like in...
oh, from Crackdown.
Yeah.
Ability orbs everywhere.
I like finding them. It's a cheery moment in an uneasy, worrying world.
Yeah, they're so happy. They're always like, yay, you found me. Have a seed. Bye-bye.
Do we want to do any redos?
No, I had a small stumble in my story, but I think I did a really good job reading that incredibly long Eve story and emoting.
I guess it's someone mid-low level at Amazon flagged it to limit public availability of the game so that only they could pre-order it. That would be a fireable offense. Right, that's the
There's James and I we're playing some of the Hollow Knight on 18 Games and Counting.
Mm-hmm.
And there's these little caterpillars in glass jar that are trapped in glass jars that you save, and if you're in like the same room as they're in, you just hear like this like sad caterpillar crying. You're like, I have to find it. I have to find the caterpillar, and then you break it out and it goes.
That's very cute.
I find the Korok's movement suspect.
And then there's a room somewhere else that has like an old like father caterpillar with a whole bunch of like empty caterpillar nests around him, and he's like wow. And then every time you save one you can go to that room and there'll be like another caterpillar there, and he'll give you like a little bonus thing.
Hey Paul, can you actually pull up a picture of the Korok seed that you get for finding all 900?
So I was looking up, brief digression while that happens, I was looking up Floygan Brothers. Or actually, as the game was released, Floygan Brothers Episode 1.
Yeah.
Bold plans. It was in development when the Dreamcast was discontinued, and that's gotta suck. If you're working on a Dreamcast game and Sega's like, we are discontinuing the Dreamcast, and you're like...
I bought into the wrong system.
What? I was programming... Anyway, it was developed by Visual Concepts, which is an in-house developer for Take-Two. And for the past many, many years, basically all they work on is the Take-Two 2K games. So like the WWE games, MLB, like any of the 2K sports games is what Visual Concepts works on. But way, way back, they also did Clay Fighter.
Clay Fighter, really?
And Clay Fighter 2.
Now that was a
Electric
crazy game.
Boogaloo.
Yeah. Was DLC even a thing back then? Well, no, not really. That's the thing. Like this was.
They were ahead of their time. But
Yeah.
the thing is, it was a time-gated release of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, except it wasn't. Except the timing wasn't actually like on the disc. It was that they were going to put the server to make it release, and then the server went away.
And they're all just like inconsequential Well, I think one of them is a mini game, but most of them is like Moigle can wear a pilgrim hat. Moigle gets a gray wig.
So
Moigle gets a Halloween costume.
So if you actually wait, I can crop it for a second.
Yeah, no, chat's like, wow, it's really just a turd.
Well, but like, look at the Korok seed on the left there. It's just in the sort of middle row.
2 over, yeah.
Yeah, 2 over. That looks like it could be anything, but it kind of also looks like a turd now that I have the reference of the larger Korok seed to look at.
Because the top swirl of the turd is just a Korok seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, or the Korok seed is just a small turd. You're not finding seeds.
Well,
You're
maybe
finding poos.
maybe the Korok seeds are Korok turds, and this is Hetsu's turd
Maybe
Because
it's
he's
like
such a
because he's a
Korok.
big he's a big boy.
it's like those
He's a big, healthy boy.
it's like the coffee thing, the coffee cat.
Oh, like a civet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why they're so highly prized.
Link wakes up and has every morning on the Hylian wilds and has a steaming cup of Korok coffee.
Bah. Let's talk about stories. But I wanted to show people that. Like, I wasn't
We were.
joking, but it looked like a poo. I guess we were, weren't we? I just wanted to change the subject from Link drinking liquid shit.
No, not liquid shit. Seeds that have passed through a Korok. Like civet coffee.
Apparently, civet coffee is very bad for civets, and you shouldn't seek it out and drink it.
Why is it bad for civets?
Because there's such a high demand for it, so people basically keep civets.
Oh, they just force civets to.
Well, I mean, it's not like a pate situation, but if you want a civet in a cage that just eats coffee beans all day, it's probably kind of jittery.
It's like, well, the thing is, they don't actually eat the coffee though, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, they eat the berry and then they poop out the seed.
Just like the idea of there's just a bunch of really over caffeinated civets. They're like, I don't.
Hey man,
really,
hey.
They're like, I don't really want coffee right now. No, eat it.
It's the
Eat
only
it.
food we have for you. Now, that coffee is super expensive. Don't drink it. It's not good for the civets.
So,
And it's not good for your wallet either. So
stories we did. Yeah, Blizzard is definitely suing this cheat developer. And yeah, 8.5 for a company like Blizzard, 8.5 seems like a pretty low number, to be honest. But basically, they took a number that Bossland said is the number of sales they've made since 2013, which is in the mid 100,000s. And then Blizzard estimated that it was 36% of that, so it was 49,000 things that they sold were cheat programs for Blizzard products, and determined that it was that number of things of infringement. And then it's okay, so based on that, $8.5 million, and which I mean it does 8.5 million is a huge amount of money. But for what Blizzard is alleging, that really does seem like they're trying to make a statement more than they want the money.
yeah, I mean, in relation to the amount of money Blizzard makes on various games and stuff, it's a relatively small amount.
Yeah.
But and it's weird, right? Because it's my gut reaction is somebody suing somebody else. Assholes. But then it's well,
Your brain's wait, hold on.
Turns out this
okay.
is actually a situation where, and the idea that of sort of that they've done, I guess, the research or the thing to know that it's people cheating and being buttholes in the game has a direct relationship to
The profitability of the game.
Yeah.
Because if it's not fun to play, they'll make less money.
Yeah.
Ikimi Kim from the chat, Ikimi Kim is saying, I don't see how Blizzard has a legal right to sue because Bossland is developing software that runs on a client computer and it's not their fault. So what Blizzard is alleging is that Bossland is creating software that the only way to use the software is to contravene Blizzard's copyright and terms of use, which is true. And they're alleging that cheaters playing Overwatch, or I mean any of their games, but in this case Overwatch, people cheating to play Overwatch is making it a hostile environment for people who aren't cheating, and so Blizzard is losing actual customers.
Right.
So that part's got to go to court, but the software is definitely in contravention of their terms of service.
Yeah, 0.1% chances is actually going to trial. Yeah, because as we said, the company that they're suing doesn't seem to be actually that interested in having it go to trial.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be one of these things where they there's a default judgment in Blizzard's favor, and then the company like disappears.
Yeah.
Like the
I
company,
mean, the company's probably already disappeared at this point.
like the company just goes away, and then like another company called like whatever Sick Cheats Yo
yeah.
shows up, right? Like it's I feel like it's one of those things that where and probably Blizzard knows that. Like I don't think Blizzard is probably
I don't know.
totally fine with never actually getting the
Yeah.
money, but it's sending a
By
message,
the way,
right?
because again, some people in chat are like, but how does that break copyright? I don't know. They haven't said that. But I trust that they know, right? Like, Bossland could be using some of Blizzard's code,
Right.
right?
Like I guess the idea being that they would have had to.
I'm just saying, I don't think Blizzard is making shit up.
Well, and also Blizzard is in the position where they have to be like, hey, this is well known enough that we have to stomp on this. We have to like make sure this because if they don't respond, then the market for this only grows because people think they can operate with impunity. They have to be like taking a firm stance.
And it's also they can be like, look, there's no way that this code could have been written without Bossland violating the terms of service. And that may be true or may not be.
Yeah.
But Bossland would then have to argue that in a court, which they are not prepared to do.
They are not interested in doing that.
Probably because then they would have to show that it's not, and they can't show
If they
that.
show up in court, then Blizzard
presume-
has somewhere to send a bill.
Like I presume that it probably does violate. Like they probably did have to decompile sections of the code and stuff and violate terms of service in order to make the software in the first place.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Eve, man, that slow burn.
Yeah, like we're like, are you just telling us the story of the Count of Monte Cristo? I mean, sort of.
It is. Like it is.
Wow.
That's why the headline was just like Edmond Dantes, who's the hero of the Count of Monte Cristo.
Nice.
Yeah, he. I do like the. I mean, of course, in the real world, things aren't quite as
Cut and dry.
as pure. And also, when you kill somebody in Eve, like you can kill them and take all their stuff, but they just kind of come back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Still, that's
which
great.
is not necessarily bad. Like I didn't want the
Reaction-
guy to actually like die.
No, reaction on Kotaku is split between like you're the man now, dog, and people being like, what? He's just griefing noobs. That's like no reason to get revenge. It's like fuck you.
Yeah.
Well,
If you can dish it and can't take it, then I don't care.
And besides, it's not like it actually said like he didn't even have that much stuff apparently.
Yeah. Just griefing noobs. Yeah, that sounds. That's totally
It's-
harmless unless you're the noobs, in which
Yeah.
case it sucks ass.
Yeah.
and also there's no. It's like the argument that he's just griefing noobs is like, okay, and that's an argument that this is an unremarkable thing.
Yeah.
But you can't be like he was just griefing noobs, and then this guy was just griefing this other guy. Like if you're fine with somebody griefing noobs, then you should be fine with this guy doing
The
what
guy
he
getting
did.
revenge. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're not fine with people griefing noobs and not fine with this, then okay.
Yeah.
But I do like
Then I disagree.
But I appreciate. From what I understand from the article, it was more than just griefing noobs in the sense that this guy seemed to make a vendetta against this particular person.
Yeah, basically he was trying to, I don't know, I guess, considering they have a long exchange in German, they're both clearly German, right?
Very few
Maybe
books
they've got
have
some beef.
Very few books have sandwiches named for them.
That's true.
Is the Monte Cristo sandwich
I don't know.
based at all on the book?
No, I don't think they eat any Monte Cristo sandwiches in the book. I
I
think
think
maybe
they're
the
just
person
the same place. that
I
they're
think maybe
named
the
after.
person
Yeah.
who invented the Monte Cristo sandwich was maybe a fan of the books. It was perhaps an homage. Also, because I had to look up, I haven't read The Count of Monte Cristo, and so I had to look up the name of the main character. I got sort of trapped into a Wikipedia hole. Did you know Alexander Dumas is a quarter black? His dad
I knew
was-
nothing about Alexander Dumas.
I did not know that. And they had a big thing in his biography about how they reinterred his ashes at like the place where all the famous French writers are interred. Because after he died, he was very popular and well received at his time. There may have been a little bit of racism because he was perhaps not the whitest looking dude. So he perhaps was not treated with the respect that somebody of his stature should have been.
I love the idea that he's like, he's in jail for all his time and finally escapes and then has this single-minded determination to get revenge on the man who put him there
but he takes time out to invent a sandwich.
I'm trying to figure out the origin of the name, and I can't find it. It's just called the Monte Cristo.
He mailed the guy later and congratulated him.
Yeah, he gets whitewashed a lot, says Blue Mechanic. Yeah, I feel like a lot of, there's actually quite a few historical personages in European history that are of mixed race ancestry. Like you had a lot of people who, especially after slavery, unfortunately, were the products of mixed ancestry marriages. And you had people who were like descended from like the Spanish Moors and stuff like that, but they all tend to get whitewashed in the name of history because people are like, old dead European people, probably all white.
Well, yeah, of course, we don't have any photographs of the person.
We actually have photographs of Dumas.
Do we?
Yeah, he's on his Wikipedia page.
Cool.
Okay, so...
for some reason I thought he was older than that.
Monte Cristo is...
It's like a picture from 1855, so it's an early photograph.
Is Monte Cristo very similar to a croque-monsieur, right?
Monte Cristo's great, though.
Apparently,
So unhealthy.
Depression-era dinner parties often featured a Monte Cristo sandwich referred to at the time as a cheese dream sandwich.
I mean, it's pretty indulgent.
The Monte Cristo rose to fame in 1966 when it appeared on the menu at Disney's Cajun restaurant beside the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And no one can find out if the name Monte Cristo was used before then. So it might just have been an Imagineer gave it that name on the menu at the Cajun restaurant.
Because he liked the book,
Wow.
probably.
Yeah.
Yet another thing invented by Disney.
If you're unaware of what a Monte Cristo sandwich is, it's a sandwich with turkey, ham, and Swiss cheese, and then you grill it. But you don't just grill it. First you dip it in egg, and
Yeah.
then you grill it.
It's
so it's like savory French toast
yeah,
stuffed with ham and turkey and cheese, and it's so good and it's so bad for you.
Ham and turkey and cheese between two slices of French toast.
Yeah.
Is there cranberry sauce on that one?
Yes, there is.
And fucking powdered sugar on top? No. No.
No.
All right.
Love me a good Monte Cristo, but they're hard to find. And it's not something I'm going to make at home. Because if I
So-
unleash that demon, that's a problem.
So what we're saying is this guy should have also come up with the sandwich in Eve.
Yeah, then we could all be eating the Darvo.
Darvo, isn't it? That's not actually that bad a sandwich name either.
You know what? It's not. It's not.
Monte
I'll have
Cristo
I'll
sandwiches
have a
on
Darvo
Tinker
on
Tailor.
sourdough.
Yeah. Darvo Club.
Yeah. Yeah, you wanted to do some. Well, you actually have a plan for the
I
next.
do have a
for-
plan.
for the next cooking Tinker Tailor.
Yeah, I have a plan.
Keep it on the
but
DL.
It's not going to be Monte Cristo sandwiches, though. Although then I could have an excuse just to eat Monte Cristos.
Floygen brothers. Heugel and Moigel Floygen.
It's impossible not to say it like Floygen.
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 Well, I mean, Floygen. Even said with a perfectly like.
Yeah.
You still sound like you're doing the Animaniacs Jerry Lewis thing. Anyway, I just think this is really interesting that they got 3 of the original dev team who worked at Visual Concepts on the game 16 years ago to save state hack to make a save state that you can download and put onto your own Dreamcast UMDs that unlock all the DLC.
I'm super impressed that they were able to get original devs to do this, like to track them down through probably it's 16 years ago. Some of them probably worked at like 10 companies by now, given the sort of the speed of changeover and video game development and companies being bought by other companies and stuff like that. So just finding these people is impressive. What impresses me more that people care about this game that I've never heard of. And I lived with a Dreamcast enthusiast.
It's
My roommate Travis loved his Dreamcast.
Yep.
I was actually thinking about is this the first instance of and I've never heard of this concept before. I mean, obviously DLC is a thing. I mean, this was probably one of the early DLC things, but the idea of having it's not even like being made as it goes. So it's stuff that already is in the game on the disc, but it just unlocks after a certain amount of time.
For free.
But it unlocks when given a certain signal from the unlocking server, which was supposed to be given time. I don't. I
It
can't.
seems-
Off the top of my head, I can't think of any other game that did it.
Yeah,
that has done it that way.
It seems pretty unique because there's been plenty of games that have sort of like had there's obviously paid DLC, but have had like free, monthly or close to, just like, hey, here's a thing, but it's not usually on the disc.
like so it's already been done.
Yeah.
So it's the whole thing is already complete. Mm-hmm. And it's just like it's almost like the thing that some games do, or like that like Mario Maker does, where you don't get access to all the tools right away. You have to like wait for a bit before all the tools unlock.
Right.
It's sort of like that, except silly stuff and takes longer to unlock. So this is the
Yeah, the Dreamcast didn't have storage, so you couldn't actually do DLC.
right.
Like you couldn't do off-disc DLC.
Yeah, but it's still kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like this is possibly the first instance of DLC. Also, one of the first instances of a game rendered losing features because the authentication server went offline, which is
Yeah.
now a very common occurrence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yay
it's
for
like
Dreamcast innovation.
Trying to play old games. It's like, I can't. There's not much more to say about that MLB The Show 17 story,
I'm
except for Graham is super squicked out by those pictures.
Don't like it. Oh, the hair guy I don't mind. The other guy don't like
whole
it.
guy.
I don't.
People-
I don't consider myself having like.
You couldn't look at a crumpet and not be like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I don't consider myself having trypophobia. I love crumpet. They're delicious.
As long as
but-
you don't look at them.
Certain images that aren't good for trypophobic people do weird me out.
It's not like for me it's not like a fear or like a.
Oh yeah, no, I just sort of go.
It's just kind
"Oh."
of like it's a weird kind of visceral reaction that just kind of makes me uncomfortable sometimes.
But I'm so glad we did this story though, because I didn't realize that this was from a dev stream where they were going, oh, by the way, look at these hilarious glitches that we had while we were making the game. Because all that's happened is it's being linked around with like, look at MLB The Show 17 with these pictures. I thought the game was out and those were glitches that were in the game.
No. That was like, I watched the stream. I like had to scrub through an hour stream to find the relevant point because I was like, really? Really? And then, yeah, it's like takes like, it's not even 30 seconds where they're like, look at this random shit. All right, on to some lighting effects. We noticed that these people, even when they were wearing hats, were getting too much blue from the sky. So we had to adjust our blah, blah. And I'm like, this is fascinating, but not relevant.
Yeah.
Right? Leave those glitches in. People love that shit.
But yeah,
It's often the only reason a sort of a yearly iteration of a sports franchise is going to get news, is if there's something hilarious or otherwise noteworthy about it, because otherwise what are you going to report? The 2017 roster came out. The game is mostly the same.
but I would be actually surprised if a like DLC freaky face transform whatever comes out at some point.
If you have a chance to watch the video of that, what's extra freaky about it is that the guy's eyes are still fine and flat and recessed in to that weird like Wicker Man face, and his mouth is recessed as well. So he's
but no,
so
his mouth has his mouth and nose are covered by the texture, so they have him talk a little bit. It's just this whole like thing flexes and bulges.
but his eyes look perfectly normal. They're just sunken into
that
the
texture's on his eyelids, actually.
Oh wow!
I watched it very close up because I don't care.
It's like those
I'm just like, all right, this doesn't bother me.
yeah, on like the DVDs for Pixar movies, sometimes they show like render bugs and stuff. I remember seeing one where there's like a thing with from the original Toy Story where just like Woody's eyes have just like jumped like 2 feet to the side of him.
Yeah.
And so he's just like moving around with these freaky empty eye sockets, and there's these eyes like doing stuff beside him.
Nice.
It's super weird.
Yeah, I ended up realizing, I was like, am I immune to this? So I ended up looking up a BuzzFeed quiz. If you have tryptophobia, you'll hate these images. I was ambivalent to all of them. They're like, here's an extreme close-up of an arrow bar. And I'm like, I love arrow bars.
I love arrow bars too. I don't have a problem with bubbles. Bubbles
Yeah.
are fine.
Yeah, lampreys are one that, and lotus seeds or lotus pods. Those
Yeah.
are the two ones that really set people
It's
off.
all because of that
Picture of a
effing
lamprey.
Photoshop. Anyway, Persona 5. Yeah, a bunch of people. Not a bunch. This was a small number of people who are having it fixed, so don't worry, got these emails that were like, your pre-order of Persona 5 Take My Heart Edition, Take Your Heart Edition, has been canceled because the contents are classified as what did I say?
It looks like a Sarlacc.
It contains regulated materials classified as dangerous goods. Yeah.
I mean, there's probably. I was gonna think.
No, why, Kathleen?
Sorry.
That was really mean.
Sorry.
I told you before the stream that I don't like.
I didn't.
Maybe I do have it. Fuck it. Maybe I have trypophobia. I don't care. I don't like seeing those images.
The
I'm so sorry. I feel bad now.
I don't think you are sorry. I don't think you would have done it.
But I was thinking the other way the joke could have gone for that was like clearly they are aware of just how addictive Persona games are.
Yeah.
And so they have
Yeah.
they have rightly
It's a category 3.
they have rightly marked it as dangerous goods.
We've called in the DEA. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe the Persona 4 came out in 2008.
Yeah, holy shit. That's amazing, actually.
They've got the
2017.
Yeah.
they've got the Valve thing. It'll be done when it's done.
9 years we've been waiting for this sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been doing
It's a
other
good thing
things.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions has been
2
good.
generations of PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing. It's not like they haven't been doing. They've been working on this for
Yeah,
that
but
amount of
okay,
time.
but let's look at this way. You are a normal game studio. You release a
I
game
am.
that comes out to near universal acclaim. People are saying it is the last great game to be released for a console, if not one of the greatest games to have come out on that console. Makes you a fuck ton of money, gets an anime adaptation, right? Spawns like a live action show in Japan. What's your next project going to be? Are you a normal game studio? Are you going to probably start working on Persona 5? But if it's not Atlas, it's like, no, let's do a couple of more niche games. Let's publish some other things, and let's do a weird Fire Emblem mashup where everybody's an idol. Those are not the game decisions. Those are not the business decisions a
imagine, like,
normal game studio makes.
There's a lot.
5 years later, they're like, hey, I had an idea.
You know that game that made us a fuck ton of money and like shot our international profile way up, and everybody's like been chomping at the bit for a sequel? Maybe we should start thinking about that.
There's a lot of pressure, on there's like when you make a game that's really good like that, there's a lot of pressure on you for like the second game, right? So like,
Well, and this
or
game,
the
the
next,
fifth-
or
the
the
fifth
fifth game.
game.
What about like the next game? There's a lot of pressure, right? So maybe they got, they're going through different concepts. They want to do, you got to make it bigger, better, but also the same.
No, yeah, Catherine. That was the game they released directly afterwards. It's like, hey, let's take all the things that people love and not put any of it in the game. Persona Dancing All Night, which is canon, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that
We said that, Salem Adam.
we should probably not like get up in a game company's business for not just iterating on a franchise over and over again.
Fair.
Yeah.
Like
no.
we want to encourage that kind of behavior is what I'm saying. Whether it worked out or not for them, in general, it is that's a positive frame of mind.
Fair.
I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Other stories.
Yeah, like I just... All right.
Pokemon, you can play Pokemon Yellow on the Apple Watch.
Sort of.
Kinda. Someone has made a emulator.
So the story.
It's not even. It doesn't even seem like a Game Boy emulator.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a Pokemon Yellow emulator.
Yeah, the story I read was like he's made a Game Boy emulator, but the only thing they talked about was Pokemon Yellow. So it might be like
He's made a Pokemon Yellow.
it might be like specifically tuned.
Well,
for
it is
Pokemon.
because the way that you interact with it, like the way that the controls are set up, is specific to Pokemon. Like there's 3 on-screen buttons, and then you sort of slide your finger around for the D-pad. You tap the screen for A, and then you use the digital crown for scrolling up and down in menus.
I'm pretty sure. Like he was saying that actually putting the emulator on the Apple Watch wasn't actually that hard.
Yeah.
Like it was just porting an existing emulator. The control system was the thing that.
Yeah.
Just like how the hell do you control it
Couple
without
questions
your
if you're going
hand
to try it.
completely covering?
The thing is, I've said this before. Like to use an Apple Watch, you need to have it connected to your phone. I mean, not to use it, obviously, but like to have it like
do all the cool stuff.
Get notifications and stuff like that. Like, I could play Pokemon on this without it being connected to my phone. But to make the best use of a watch, you also have an iPhone. And if I have an iPhone with me, I'm just going to play a game on my iPhone rather than this. I don't actually think...
You look like Dick Tracy.
I think it's cool, and I'm glad that someone's doing it. Personally, for me, I think playing games on an Apple Watch is a stupid idea.
Everybody I know that has an Apple Watch actually wants to use it for work-related items, like getting notifications and emails and being alerted when things happen.
I saw
without having to look at their phone.
A couple people saying that it was going to get banned from the App Store. I mean, I'm pretty sure this isn't actually in the App Store.
Oh, no.
Like, I think the guy has, like, made it and shown it off on his own thing. But
no, you can't just buy this.
So it's, like, one, emulator's not allowed in the App Store, and two, Pokemon isn't his game, so that wouldn't be allowed in the App Store either.
Yeah.
So there's no way this will actually show up in the App Store.
When I say you can play Pokemon Yellow on a watch, I mean, it is possible to play. I mean, you can't play it.
Maybe you can jailbreak.
Maybe you can play it.
Is there a jailbreak for an Apple Watch? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Maybe?
Probably.
Oh yeah. So there's a new game from Nimblebit.
Yes.
With whom who has in the past
Disclosure.
hired us to make little animated videos for them.
Planes one.
Yeah, the Pocket Planes and the Tiny Tower videos.
Yeah.
So disclosure.
We didn't do anything
with Nimblebit.
We didn't do anything for this thing.
No. So they have a game called Bit City, which is sort of like a cross between like a SimCity game and a clicker.
Sort of Nimblebit does SimCity.
Does SimCity, but it's as a clicker game, right?
Yeah, it's I like Nimblebit's games, but I don't like clicker games, and it's really light on strategy for a city building game, so it doesn't really scratch either itch for me. It's well designed and fun to play, as all Nimblebit games are, but it's just like, eh.
Anyway, there was a story for it, or a story about it on Kotaku about one of their microtransactions in the game, because of course, like any successful mobile game, you're going to have your your premium currency. But there's one way to get the premium currency called the pension pig, which is it's a piggy bank, and it accrues money. It accrues bucks, which is the same currency as Tiny Tower and Pocket Planes. It accrues bucks as you play, and then whenever you want to, you can pay $2.99 to break the pension pig and get all the bucks out of it, and then you get a new pig, and it starts accruing bucks again. And if you want to open it again, you have to pay another $2.99 later. So it's this sort of like, if I do it now, I'll get this much, but if I wait, I'll get this much, which is like, okay, fine. But you could also that's for $3, right? For $5, you could just get 3,500 bucks.
But here's the thing.
For $10, you get 10,000 bucks.
And for like $20, you get 25,000 bucks. But here's the deal: if you let your pension pig build up long enough,
for a long ass time.
Not that long, because I'm already above. How many? Well, because I've obviously tried the game out because I do like my Nimblebit games. My pension pig, and I have played a little bit of this game, but not a ton. Like, I've spent some hours in it. Whoops, where is it? My pension pig is already up to 5,405 bucks. A stack of bucks, and to open that is $4 Canadian. A stack of bucks is $7 Canadian. So it's already a way better deal to open my pension pig.
Well, they did recently update it so the pension pig accrues money more quickly. Because when they wrote this article, he was like, "This is not like a viable use of your actual money." Anyway,
it is the cheapest microtransaction.
I kind of like the idea that if you wait and you let your pension pig get real fat,
just like a real pension,
then you can only pay $3 and get a bigger payout.
I like it's I don't know whether it's unique or not, but it's the idea of it's almost like an extra level. It's like a kind of a meta gamification.
Well, this game encourages you to like restart. It's not like you play through and like beat everything. Like there's also these prestige keys, where each key collected gives your city a plus 1% earnings bonus. When you prestige, you restart at City 1, but keep all game upgrades, pension pigs, bucks, and keys. So I've been playing long enough that I've racked up a certain, like, I think 30, 35 prestige keys. So if I was to restart my game now, I'd have to restart, but I'd also be earning.
But your pension pig would still be.
My pension pig would be big, and I'd be earning 35% more money. So, like, the idea behind this game is not that you play it once and beat it, it's that you keep redoing.
Interesting.
I like to say the pension pig is possibly a slight misnomer because like the point of a pension, in fact, like the entire purpose of a pension is not you smash it and get a huge ton of money all at the same time.
Yeah.
That's like the polar opposite of what a pension does.
Yeah, it's like a lottery pig. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like a
the idea
Savings bond pig.
Savings pig.
But the idea that the longer you wait, the
piggy
bigger
bank.
it gets. That kind of works.
Anyway.
There's some stories I didn't actually read, but there's one more story that I wanted to talk about, which is dock cozies.
Now, have you noticed your Switch
No.
getting scratched? Now, then again, you're not pulling it in and out of the dock very often.
I mean, once a day. I'm very careful with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently some people have reported that if you are not as gentle, perhaps, with docking and undocking your Switch,
The same people who broke their TVs with Wiimotes back in the day.
that you might encounter some scratches on the screen of your Switch. So don't worry, there's a cottage industry here to help you, and it's dock cozies or bumpers or some. There's people are selling like little like neoprene like slip covers to put over the front.
Or with like different designs on them.
Yeah,
It's super dumb.
I can't.
But it's like, I do like the, that's the.
I have no idea how visible this is going to be, but there's one with like a Zelda design on it. There's a, here we go. Here's a, I'm sure perfectly allowable by copyright, like a Mario one that just covers the front thing.
But like, I do like this idea, like, it's, when Apple stopped making the like iPhone docks, then again there arose a like little cottage industry of people making like wood and plastic and different little shapes that would then fit the fit the lightning connector in and do it. It's like that sort of void that will always be filled.
The thing is, in the case of the Apple stopping making the docks, I feel that the cottage industry does a better job because now you can get a dock that will fit every conceivable possible use case, like your phone watch hybrid dock, your double dock.
Yeah, I like it. It's a little aluminum thing with a base, and it's got these like furrows underneath with rubber
for the
things
cables.
where you like clip the cables in. So it's got two cables coming out the back, and then they go into it and stick like up and out the inside. And then when I go to bed, I can put my watch on one part and my phone on the other part.
I feel
sit
like
there.
there's a real market for well-designed furniture that lets you do that. Because Graham and I were like trying to buy some nightstands, and we found one that had like a channel up at the back so you could feed up a cord so you could have all your things charging in it, which was great. The actual nightstand itself looked like CEO Jameson. So I didn't really want to buy it. I was like, this thing
Unless
is
we can
really
modify
ugly.
it to actually really look like CEO Jameson, like put like an arm with a fan on the side of it.
And that's just
then,
going to
yeah.
interfere with the decor.
He's in Ghost in the Shell. He was the CEO he is the CEO that made the touch comas, and he's in a very, very
He was a very early adopter,
early
just
prototype.
possibly one of the first adopters for full cybernetic bodies, and he's kept the same body. So it's basically like a walking box with like an arm.
Cool.
He looks like that.
Nice.
He's a box with 4 legs and 2 arms, one of which is traditionally holding a fan.
I was reading. I was actually reading one thing about the Switch.
There's a link in chat, yeah.
Scratching thing, which was kind of interesting because, like, I was talking about how because there's sort of a little bit of consternation about it because the dock is plastic, the screen
Is not glass.
but it's the screen. Basically, the screen is hard is made out of a hard enough material
Yeah.
that it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
And so people are like, the Switch is scratching my thing. And then people, somebody else would be like, no, I think you'll find this is made of harder material than the plastic, therefore it cannot possibly be scratching
Yeah.
your thing. And they're like, well, my thing's fucking scratched.
Well,
so,
guess what?
And I think I was reading somewhere that it's possible there might be like a coating on the screen that is the thing that's getting scratched, not the like screen itself. So anyway,
I would be okay with that body. I don't know if it's like if CEO Jameson keeps the body, the original Jameson type body, because he's nostalgic and he's considering he's probably like over 100 years old at that point too, right? Or if it's like the technology wasn't so great and it's like, if I go to a different body, my brain might not survive. Maybe a little bit of both.
I love that all the... all I Googled was CEO Jameson, and all the text results are things about Jameson whiskey. And all the image results are CEO Jameson from Ghost in the Shell. That's kind of great. I can try to find... No, wait. Surely there's a Ghost in the Shell wiki.
That's true. It is a status thing. I think, like, at a certain point, right, at a certain point it stops being old and starts becoming cool and retro.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like you're in that body, but nobody else can, like having like a vintage car or something, right? Anyway. Was there, I'm just trying to think, the other stories were...
There were some other ones that I saw but did not recall enough of to talk about.
Dear Dr. Kathleen, the CEO Jameson body or the Scarlett Johansson Major body? If I had a choice right now, like they both were commercially available, should I accidentally be hit by a bus? Of course, I'm going to go with the more expensive, actually looks like a human, gives me rights body.
Yeah.
I would enjoy the ability to like switch between them just to mess with people. They're like, sometimes I'm a movie star and sometimes I'm a box. Well, the box is like when you're at home and you're just like relaxing, you don't really care about what you look like.
It's the Android version of sweatpants.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the manga said that because of his early model, the transfer to a better body wouldn't be lossless.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Man, that'd be a tough call.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
A Destiny player has entirely gone through the Vault of Glass without actually activating the Vault of Glass. They've glitched it so hard.
Now, I definitely recall glitching out of the Vault of Glass at various points, but not to the extent of being able to actually beat it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is like, glitching into the Vault of Glass is not that tough.
Yeah.
But this guy has spent the last 2 years working on this and using like a whole ton, like all the different glitches that people have found. Apparently, stuff like when you fall faster when you sit on a sparrow.
Weird.
And so there's glitches that you can involving like having a sparrow and then jumping off of it at the right time. All sorts of stuff. He's glitched all the way through and gone to like the three different places that you like. Things are all actually obvious. They're supposed to be 3 different time periods, right?
Right.
But they're all actually physically in the same world,
Yeah,
so he's got all of those.
I went through an entire strike out of bounds.
Nice.
The summoning pits. Was playing with Foxmar and Ben Swallow, and they were in the strike, and I was out of bounds. And if you're out of bounds, you can still hit the load point for the next chunk. And so I would be going along out of bounds, and then I have a recording of it somewhere. I should try to find it. But yeah, Destiny is an amazing game for getting out of bounds, because those environments are like assembled in a very strange way. Just like errant geometry littered all over the floor. It's like they brought in a giant box of Lego, dumped it everywhere, and then just sort of collected everything that they needed like in one place. And as long as you're inside that box, you're fine. But if you go outside, you're like, there's shit lying all over the floor.
Yeah, it's at the point where it's almost like emergent gameplay.
Sub-ocean is strong in Destiny.
That shouldn't exist.
It really is.
And the other one was mostly just kind of a cool thing that I'd like to check out. There's a game called Streets of Rogue, which is a top-down sort of Binding of Isaac style roguelike, not Binding of Isaac. But well, that is one of the things that it takes, or Enter the Gungeon, or all these different things. Except there are a ridiculously huge number of classes that you can be, that you can play as, and they all have different capabilities. In a lot of cases, not like combat capabilities. Like, for instance, so you can be like a soldier, and then you just go around shooting everybody, or you can be like, say, a bartender who can diffuse explosive situations just by like talking to people. You can be a gorilla, which has the advantage of being able to punch enemies through walls and save other gorillas that come and hang out with you. The downside to being a gorilla is you can't use a gun because gorillas can't hold guns.
Clarification question. Punching enemies through walls. Is that the gorillas on one side, the enemies on the other side of the wall, and you punch them through the wall? Or you're both on the same side and you punch them and they go through the wall?
I do not know.
All right.
But apparently that you can actually like make new paths that way.
Cool.
So anyway, you can be like a gang member. What is it? You can be an investment banker who just has a ton of money.
And just be like, just like $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase,
yeah.
just like everyone's got a price here.
This is just a list of some of the things you can be. A sneaky thief who could rob everyone, a naked shapeshifter, a vampire, a werewolf, a wrestler.
This sounds amazing.
Yeah, this seems, and they keep adding new ones too.
All right, I got to try this out.
The key to victory, if you want to, you can certainly give me suggestions for recipes to try on Tinker Tailor, but it's basically got to be a one-pot recipe, which is very limiting.
Yeah, we've only got the one hot plate.
So,
and there's a limit to
how
much
complex we want to get in here.
And yeah, how much extra will
Ian
serve.
and I were trying to figure out how to do like steak in here, which is also technically a one-pot recipe, but...
Okay.
So we should thank some people.
Let's thank some people. Is
like
Streets
to
of
thank-
Rogue available now? I think so.
I
Sous
believe
vide.
so. If not available, right, at least
feasible
on
is
some sort of pre-order
baking?
thing. It's from.
We have a toaster oven.
We have a toaster oven, and you could technically bake in a toaster oven, but you could bake a few things, right? Like a full
Yeah.
batch, like it would take
You make
an eon to make cookies.
Make a batch and then cook 5 of them.
yeah,
or bake 5 of
because
them.
you can't like do muffins because you can't.
It is
like,
currently early access,
Cool.
so it is available, but it is early access. So take
Beef
that
burgundy.
as you will.
1 pot, 12 cutting boards.
yeah, that's true. Honestly, a full turkey, no.
You can burn pumpkins in it. That's true. You can burn You can set small fires in our toaster oven.
How about gnocchi? I'm not gonna do another.
You got plans. it's
Pasta. Right away.
All right.
I have more exciting plans.
All right.
Different plans.
Thank you, everybody.
Let's get on that sub train.
Subtrain.
Mini whack. 21 months. Sub train. I got nothing witty to say but happy birthday to me and take the Amazon money.
Hey, happy birthday, Miniwhack. Foxmar320 with 39 months. Oh, look, I can finally push the button.
Yay.
39-month resub. Welcome back, Foxmar.
Bodie McBoatface Jr. for 3 months. 3 months, that's almost... Sigh.
Felipe Modesto for 8 months. Heart, thanks for the opportunity to subscribe. Tell Paul I mailed him some Tims.
Wait, what?
Comrade Barrick with a 25-month resub. This space intentionally left blank.
The Flanman 5 for 32 months. Had to head home early for work. Means I get to watch Checkpoint Live.
Hey.
Victorian for 33 months. Deep breath. Woo! Deep inhale. Woo!
Unspoken Kibbles with a 24-month resub. Gold. Always believe in your soul. I don't know what that means.
Pixelnado for 6 months.
Believe in yourself, Graham.
Okay.
Nathan Longhair for 18 months says, yay, it's almost time for Desert Bus again.
No,
Get
it's
hyped.
not. What? No, it's not. Not
Go
at all.
away.
Ralph the Llama with a 7-month resub says, it is time for point of checking.
Yay.
Al? Oh, sorry.
Alchemy Prime for 3 months. 3 great months. First live checkpoint.
Oh, wow, thank you. Kane Alexius for 31 months.
Nicaro with a 6-month resub. Welcome back, Nicaro.
Malakorath for 13 months. Currently rewatching Neon Genesis thanks to Commodore Hustle.
Hey.
T2 Brews for 35 months. 35 months, that's almost 3 years. Correct.
Gina Mahavira, a new subscriber, but they have subscribed before, so welcome back.
Wasser 3,000 for 13 months.
I think it's Wazer.
I like Wasser better.
Okay.
Wasser.
Wazer.
And 2 Osferatu for 6 months. Happy you're throwing free money at Lure. Well worth it.
Pug Iron with a 38-month resub. Innsbruck, born and bred. Thank you, Pug Iron. Welcome back.
Astral Apache for 25 months.
Juan Ramirez for 6 months.
Schnapsy with an 8-month resub. 8 months. Glad to support such an awesome group. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Schnapsy. Appreciate it.
Feltic for 6 months. Roll investigation check. Success. You found 6 months of Twitch Prime support. Yay.
Bench, $5.91 for 6 months. That might have been Yuan for the last sub.
Martin Waters, 4-month resub. I enjoy you guys. We enjoy you too. I'm so sorry about your name.
Zach3D for 2 months.
About my
message to the streamer.
About my pronunciation of your name.
Dead Rekka for 15 months says point checked.
Sorry about your name. Delta
Wow.
V with a 12-month resub. Woot, I made it on time for checkpoint. Thank you, Delta V. Welcome back.
1 year for Delta V.
Woo. And 550 bits
Woo!
from Foxmar 320, Earth and One, Ghost was W Navic, and Delta V.
Yay!
Welcome back.
Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate all of your support and your bits and giving us your Amazon Prime free subs and generally being an awesome and wonderful community.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. And tonight is
Matters
of Import, and I think it's more Yakuza.
But
I
I
think
think this is the last Yakuza for a while.
I think so.
So
'Cause
get it out of your systems now, Chad.
I believe that to be the case. You can await confirmation from Ian and Beej on that, but I think it's the last one for a while because they.
They didn't realize
That's
Yakuza
what
was
it said on
functionally
the.
infinite.
That's what it said in the stream trailer.
Okay, yeah. Because we have like a stack of
Amazing import
really
games.
weird and interesting games, and they didn't realize quite
They
the,
had gotten into some sort of Skyrim
the
situation.
breadth of Yakuza games. So yeah, that's what Ian said last night too. Okay, cool. So there we go. More Odama. God, yes. Ian should just make Beej play Odama.
And then tomorrow, Cam is going to be playing some Mass Effect Andromeda.
He's gonna be
Woo!
he's gonna be clicking on all the new heads.
On New Day
Yeah.
Tuesday.
So
That's
that'll
very
be
exciting.
Yeah, that'll be super cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that'll do it. So thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.